I don't know why he couldn't have started right away, but there's no denying the fact that, and I suppose it is quite sad for a Rangers point of view. It looks from the outside as if they've thought about it and said, look, 2 really tough games, Spurs at home in the Europa League, where they'll be big underdogs, and then obviously a cup final where Celtic are going to be massive favourites at Hampden. And in all seriousness, it looks as if they've picked that date for them to start because that might be a proper reset moment for everyone at the club in terms of looking back at the first half of the season. But I don't doubt, of course, especially from the football side, if you're Phillipe Clement, I mean, no matter, irrespective of form, they'll get into that cup final believing they can win. If they don't, then there's a serious problem within that dressing room. But from the outside, as you say, it looks a bit sus that he's going to start that day.
We had on Record Sport Online today a story kind of doing the rounds on social media about Graham Potter potentially being linked with the Rangers job and how it might, quote unquote, excite him. I mean, it's obviously...
I think somebody else said it.
I was going to say, it wasn't him that said it. But linking how that is with Patrick Stewart, do you think his appointment will strengthen Clement, or is it more likely to usher his kind of exit?
Well, put it this way, I mean, if he starts on that day and they've lost heavily to Spurs and then lost the cup final, I don't think there's any denying Patrick Stewart's first job will be to decide whether Phillipe Clement's the right guy to take Rangers forward, and that's going to be
it's a hefty first job.
Talk about having a big decision to make on your first day. Now, not make it in the first day, but you know what I mean. Listen, he's got to lead. That's what Rangers need at the moment. I mean, from everything that we're reading about this appointment, it looks as if he will be the guy that makes decisions. He will run the club and have the final say on a lot of things. And if that's true, I hope it is true, because for me, that's exactly what Rangers need. They've lacked leadership for a long time now. They've lacked someone in there making the big decisions and actually being qualified to make the big decisions. In terms of him himself, I mean, because Rangers' record recently in recruitment across the board hasn't been great, there seems to be a bit of scepticism about it. But listen, he's worked at a really high level. There's no denying that. No, he worked at Man United, for that length of time, to be involved in those kind of circles. The guy knows. I personally think, on paper it looks like a good appointment by Rangers, and I think, if it is, then John Gilligan especially will need to take a lot of credit. He's been criticised at times for taking for the length of time it's taken, but if he gets it right, it'll have been worth it. Listen, I think we'll know. Once you hear Patrick Stewart speak and you hear what his strategy is for Rangers and what he's planning to do going forward, I think you'll probably be able to make your mind up pretty quickly whether he's the right guy for the job. I'm a great believer in that. I think with these positions, see, when you grow up in Glasgow and you know these clubs and you know the environment, I think you tend to know what's required to cope within it. I cast my mind back to when Dom Mackay got the job at Celtic. I remember being at the unveiling and walking out of there, and it's no disrespect to him, not really switched on guy, but I remember walking out there thinking this guy's not right for Celtic, and it proved to be the case. I thought the same with James Bisgrove at Rangers, which has proved to be ultimately a poor appointment. He was in a marketing role, I think, doing well. He goes up to chief exec and it hasn't worked out. I think you'll know with Patrick Stewart whenever he does his first interview, whenever he gets unveiled. I think you'll get a real sense of what this guy's about and whether he's got the minerals to handle it at Rangers.